Hello, my poop-laying friends. Welcome to what is set number 2 from March 27th, 2025. And I kind of goofed, so I'll put a link to set number 1 up here. I kind of goofed because I was supposed to use the term persist in the first video and the term focus in the second video, but I got those not really mixed up, but I kind of combined them. We're going to call this video focusing and into the zone, or getting into the zone. I was practicing for WSPA State, which is Wisconsin State Pool Players Association State Tournament, which was the last weekend in March, and this was the Thursday before that tournament, trying to get out of my own head. I was underhitting, overhitting, getting out of shape, making one little mistake every rack to cost me many games over periods of time, which you can watch my Fargo graph go down. Maybe I'll put a picture of it here. At the time that I recorded this, my Fargo was 615. Right now it's 601. I was over 650 a year ago at this time, so it's been an interesting ride, but let's get over to the table and get this second set kicked off. All right, standard rules apply for ghost matches. I get ball in hand after every match, or after every break. No matter if I scratch like I did there, or if I make 7 balls and I scratch. If I make the 8 ball, I'll spot it. I then get ball in hand. If I run out and make the 8, I get 1 point. If I do not, the ghost gets 1 point. Race to 7. Decent break. I started out on the other side of the table that I normally don't break from there. And this is literally right after I think I took a break to fill up water and hit the bathroom, or maybe I just started right away. I don't remember. But try to make it more pool focused rather than talking. Looking at solids here, I'm going to bump the 14. Excuse me. Going to bump the 14 ball. My issue here is the 2 ball is in a weird spot. And I wasn't pointing at the table, I was just putting down the sticker because I have the Mighty X drill with these little donut stickers that I have on my table. I don't like where the 2 ball is, but I suppose I can get, not there, I can get anywhere in this area to make it. I could even follow up one of these 2 balls up here and make it. So looking back, it's not bad. I would have liked to maybe started with the 9 and gotten these 4 balls out and then cleared that whole area for the 8s. Looks like I'm taking the 5 here, maybe stunning for the 2. No, I'm drawing back for the 7 or the 1 or the 3. I mean, the thing with this pattern is everything goes except for the 2 only goes in the 2 sides. Didn't like the angle there, and because I have so many shots, I'll take the 1. Trying to come all the way up for the 2. The problem is if I take it now, I have to bump the 8, or I have to try to navigate this little narrow gap between there. So I think I'm going to skip it and go for the 3 and then the 7 and then try to get on the 2 for the last ball. I don't like doing that. It's not like it's in a cluster, so I don't have to break anything out, but it is the hardest ball to get on. I should have tried to get on that ball earlier. I think I'm a little bit goofy. I don't know if I can float up this way or if I'm coming into the rail. It's hard to tell from this angle, and no matter how much I move my head. Although that's the cool part about this mic, because it's the Ray from Lewitt, and the farther away I go, it should still sound the same kind of volume level. It's almost like an auto compression type thing, or auto gain. Okay, I can follow it back up, in which case, obviously that was the best way to play it. I'm brilliant and I know everything about pool there is. No. I do know enough to know that that was probably not a great choice. Did not really like the way I did that. I'm looking at the 8 much longer now because I don't know really what to do. If it goes by the 15, I can just stop it here. Yep. So didn't really care for that pattern. I would have liked to take these 4 stripes out, come down here, and then I would have the 8 in the upper right corner, or the upper left corner for that matter. But as it is, I got out, and I'm leading the Ghost 1-0. I remember saying to myself, because in a lot of these videos, you'll see me win the first rack. That's because I'm playing around, I'm playing around, I'm playing around. And once I kind of win a rack, then I'm like, okay, we'll take this. I'm focusing more on the break, even though the break doesn't matter in these matches. I made both of the side balls, the balls right behind the head ball, and got pretty good cue ball position. It doesn't matter because I get ball in hand, and I don't know why I'm yawning so much, but apologies. It is interesting that all 5 solids are on the bottom of the table. And I could very easily take solids here. I think I would start with the 5. I don't know if I'd play it from here. I guess I kind of have to. I'm kind of wiggling it in as close as I can. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to get down in between these 2 balls. But the 9 is kind of big there, and instead I go around and completely around the 3 ball. I don't love it. I don't think the 3 ball goes past here. It does not. So now I have to take the 4 ball, which is a much tougher shot. This 14 is not in the way, but it seems like it's about this big. Obviously it isn't. It's just it's in your field of vision. It is cutting out part of the pocket. I still had to play it towards the other side. It's really easy to just hit that wide because you're trying to avoid the 14. And if you don't try to avoid the 14, you can hit the 14 a lot. Now it's just going to be 6-1-3 and come out for the 8. Now I said I originally meant for this to be called the focus is the key word for this video, but I think I'm going to call it getting and staying into the zone. And I think everyone that takes pool semi-seriously has been there, where just everything works and everything feels good and you don't feel like you're second guessing yourself. I have had a lot of times where I get into a match and things just don't seem to work, and I feel like I have to change the way I play. I don't feel comfortable. I don't do things that I would at home. Now I did underhit that quite a bit. It would have been good to come off the rail and back out and get a better angle. I don't know if I didn't have enough, like I had to stun it more. I couldn't follow it off the rail enough. It looks like I had plenty of angle. I just made this harder for myself, and now I'm taking it in the side, and the tangent line is bringing me right into this ball. And if I hit the wrong side of this ball, I could scratch. I got hugely lucky, close to scratching. But I'm up 2-0, and if you count, I don't want to really spoil the last video, although it isn't. I'm going to label these number 1 and number 2. Almost scratched there. That was pretty bad, but that was 6 in a row. 6 runs in a row, going back to the last video. Actually, now you can kind of see it. Kind of see my water here. I think the water line's right there on the glass. And the top of the glass is here. So I don't think I refilled my water before I started the set. I think I just went, paused, reset the scoreboard, went racked, and started playing again. So let's look at this mess. The 2 and the 14 up on top of the table here are bad. The 3 and those aren't really bad. 3 and 11 there. But I think what I need to do is take this 14 ball. Yep, I'm calling the 14. I'm going to leave it somewhere in line to be able to get the 10 out of here. And then everything's pretty open up. The 11 does go in this side. If I can follow this off the rail and out, that'd be best. If I can't, I just want to roll up on it. It's hard to do, especially with the table just a little askew. Like if you see these donut stickers look like they're not lined up. That I did not expect. I guess I was planning on hitting something on the way through there, which is not really a great plan. Now I kind of have to take this 15 ball on the side or the 11. If I have the 11, the 11's a better shot. Yeah, I think I have the 11 here. I can roll into the 3, play the 13, or roll right past it. I think I meant to hit the 3 there. Although, again, it's hard to tell the angles. The pro announcers say it all the time. It's hard to tell what the angles are when you're down, looking at a different angle rather than when you're down on the table. So I do have this 13 ball, and it looks pretty straightforward. I think I can stun over here and play the 15 in the same pocket. There I finally stunned it, played into the 3-ball. And now I just have to float and make sure I don't leave myself in this line. So I have to get probably down to about here or anywhere to the rail. So I have a pretty wide margin of error. Now I don't want to underhit that so that I'm on the rail, so I'm dead straight in, but bouncing right off like that is perfect. And now I just top, maybe a little bit of left, come out, play the 8 in the opposite corner, or a ton of left and overhit it. I would rather, when I'm struggling like this, see myself overhit than underhit, because overhit means I'm putting a stroke on it, underhit means I'm probably decelerating the stroke. Overhitting and I can always fix. Underhitting is hard because you're kind of in your head that, oh, I can't hit this too hard, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. But we are at 7 in a row going back to last, and I'm up 3-0 on this race to 7. Well, I played it completely differently, so I didn't scratch in the side, and instead I scratched in the corner. The break is not going well for me, or did not go well for me this day. Happy to report it did go well for me at state. I went overall in my matches, I went 8-7, which when you're playing a race to 13 with a 5-man team with 2 tables, so you're alternating. And we were the away team a lot, so they put me up in the top of the roster, and then I didn't play until the 10th game. And sometimes that could be a half an hour, sometimes it could be an hour, sometimes it could be 15 minutes, depending on if people are running out and things like that. Now here I have 2 problems. I have these 2 and I have these 2, and they seem like they're okay, but the 11 really doesn't have anywhere to go, and the 13 I kind of be way over here to cut it, but I don't know if I can still cut it without hitting the 1 first. So I have to really plan this carefully on what I want to do. But anyway, at state I went 8-7 overall. The lowest guy that I played, I actually wrote this down. Lowest Fargo I played was 567. Highest Fargo I played was 718. I think I said 728 in the last video. It was 718. Highest player I beat was a 638. No, highest player I beat was a 662. Lowest player I lost to was a 595. I'll take it. I mean, it was a really good tournament. We were 1 round away from getting into the money. What in the heck was that? I think what I was trying to do is, I'm not going to rewind it and pause it and explain, because I spent a minute looking at that and then missed ball in hand. I think I was trying to break out the 1 ball and focused more on that than I did. Oh, that's even better than I did on making the 15. So needless to say, the break is a complete disaster, but I'm getting dialed into the zone. I ran 7 racks in a row between set 1 and this is set 2. Just wipe some cobwebs off the cue ball and get going here. Here I think solids look like the obvious choice, and I'm hoping that means I take the solids, because the 10 might be tight past here, the 15 is kind of hard to get to, and the 8 is kind of near this ball, which cuts off some angle. So if I can take the 15, or the 15, if I take the opposite of the 15, which is the 7, I can then get that 3 ball out of there. And then, I could go 3, 5, 4, 2, 6, 1, 8. 4, 2, 6, 1, 8. We'll see if I do that. Probably not going to do that anymore, because I wanted to be on this side of the pocket line. So if the pocket line's here, I wanted to be over here. And sorry if my drawing is terrible here. So if the pocket line goes to the middle of the pocket, I want to be on this side of it so I could bounce out for the 4. Now I have to go around the 15 ball this way and out. Now I have plenty of shots I can go after. I can go after the 2. I can even go after the 1. I can go after the 6 here. So it's not terrible. But I think I wanted, and I don't seem phased by it. A lot of times I will shrug or do the pool player hand flip move. So now it's closer, it's to 4, and then I'll probably be able to get on the 6 and then the 1 on the 8. There's so many different ways to play a pattern in 8-ball. I play based on what I think I should play, knowing how my style is, and of course I get that wrong. That was a little weird. I think I might have to go into the 8 now if I play the 6, so I may choose to play the 1 here, but it looks like I'm focusing on the 6. Can I draw this out, or can I just follow it a little bit? Yeah, just bump the 8 just a hair and keep the same angle on the 1. I must have been at a better angle than that, because there was almost no chance I could have gotten snookered behind the 8-ball there. Now here I think I'm coming all the way around up back here. I can let the stroke out a little bit. I don't have to worry about getting hooked on a ball in here. The line, you know, the path, just almost dropped my cue. Kind of shaking my head. I got the yips and the jitters and the jeeps and the. I gotta watch what I'm saying there because there's some bad words in there that I don't really want to say. But I kind of had the yips lately. I think in the other set I almost like dropped the cue out of my hand and almost hit the cue ball. Just weird things going on. But I'm up 4-1 and I'm feeling confident in this match right now. That is, if I had to put an ideal break on, I wanted the cue ball more towards the middle of the table, but I didn't hit it hard, but I got the pop, and it stayed center table in this line. Now here the 8-ball is in a weird spot because the 4 is covering it up, so I either want to get the 4 out of there right away, or I want to play stripes. Stripes look like a disaster. There's this mess, there's the 12-ball that doesn't go here, there's these 3. Now I could use this to break out the 10. Right now the 14 doesn't have a pocket, so I'd have to create a pocket for the 14. I don't have, like, let's say this were a solid instead of the 13-ball stripe here. I would play this here and break the 4 out. And then I would have some options for insurance balls. So as it is, I realize this is a huge issue, so I want to get this 4-ball out of here. This is not an easy shot, especially half bridging over the 8-ball. For me, especially the shooting past the side point is something I'm not great at. I have been practicing it. I haven't been getting better at it, but I hit it pretty well. I mean, hit the rail a couple times on the way in, but it never was in danger of hitting the point. I think what I'm going to do is I'm trying to hit the 2-ball out of here. Even though the 2 goes up here past the 8, not necessarily in that line, I think I want to break the 2 out of there. And this worked just about as well as could have been expected. I kind of had the 6 as insurance ball, but I had the 7 as an insurance ball. But I really easily could have hit the other side of the 2 and gotten stuck behind the 10 because the 11 was over here. But that turned out really well. And sometimes an 8-ball, you're going to have to make those gambles, I guess is the best way to put it. Now, I like not hitting balls if at all possible, but I kind of learned over the last couple of weeks, sometimes you need to gamble and you just need to work on that breakout and try not to get, like, what would you rather do? Go for a gamble and break out a ball, or try to play pinpoint precision 1 ball with position through a rack of 8 balls, as was shown here, because I should be down here on the 7 and I'm not. So now I have to figure out a way to get back on these balls, playing the 7, coming down this way, or drawing it and coming out this way. It's not a really great position to be in. I'm hitting balls all over the place. I'm getting lucky here. Even though I'm bridging over the 8, I still have the 1, and all I have to do is come forward a ball width or so on the 5. Now this cue, you may notice, looks a little bit different than my other cue. I'll put a link to my What's in the Bag from maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3. I'll put that link up here. And I will be doing a what's in the case, what's in the bag, what's in your pool cue holder thingy with all the pouches in it. I still need to get this microphone, which is somewhere. I do have the manual out, the quick start guide. I need to get that set up on my phone, get a tripod set up, and just do it. So that I made extra sure I wasn't going to scratch. I was still pretty close to the pocket, but had no chance of scratching there. And I'm going to go up 5-1, assuming we don't have an earthquake or the ceiling collapses or something, and I miss this 8-ball. Or I don't miss this 8-ball. All right, that one felt good from the break on. The breakout, playing a breakout shot like that 2-ball gives you confidence too. And when you're in the zone, things just look natural. When you're not in the zone, things look scary. I don't know if I want to make one here. I don't. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did not make one there. That is a problem with the head ball break, is if you don't make a ball on the break, you leave your table wide open. I just played in and took third in a tournament on Sunday. And I'll hold it. And I started out with the head ball break because it was working so well at state, and it didn't work at all through my first 2 matches. And I adjusted to the second ball break and forgot that working. So you just need to adjust, see what other people are doing, see what's working for them, see what's not working for them. Here, because I have a 3-ball combo and it's very rare that you can take a 3-ball combo, I need to play this, right? And now, because I have a 2-ball combo, I need to play, well, maybe not. The angle's really weird on this. I have to cut this 13 that way. So I'm looking at it as if I can use the 10 to get a better angle on it. Because if I cut it that way, the cue ball has to go down here and then maybe not get a shot. If I just play a stop shot here, now I'm on a much better angle on this combo. The cue ball I can almost bring back up here or straight out. Looking back, maybe solids are the best choice. I hated the 1 ball, but I could have played that with ball in hand for a shot. Ugh, almost missed. Almost missed. Problem is, I don't know if the 15 goes here. Definitely goes here. Once the 13's gone, definitely goes here. Does not go past the 1. And I think what I'm doing is I'm walking around looking at it. Or no, I'm grabbing. Okay, it must go because I'm grabbing the short cue and I'm taking it right away. So what I'm going to do is probably hope to get on this 12 on an angle where I can float to the 14. If not, I have the 13 as insurance. And if it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going, it's pretty straight. I think I have enough angle to be able to stun it, right? Just right aim for right in between those 2 walls. Maybe not. The fact that I got up on it means I did not have that angle, or I wasn't comfortable enough with the angle, but I knew I had the 13 as insurance in case things went wrong and in case I didn't get there. And now I played this on the wrong angle. I just kind of floated that with center ball. I would have liked to play it on inside and try to hold the angle here. Now I just have to bounce 1 rail and probably over here. I don't want to hit it too far that I get in danger of the 4 and the 7. I don't want to hit it too light that I don't get a shot on the 14. And I hit it too light that I didn't get a shot on the 14. So that was the problem when I talked in the first video about struggling under hitting. That was one of the main things I was doing to cause problems. So now I have to play a bank shot with the bridge because we're playing the ghost. And there's no safety here. I'm in 1-ball hell if I miss, which means, and I'm calling the bank, which means if I miss, my opponent can play safe almost everywhere on the table to make me not be able to hit my ball. So I have to just bank this. Cue ball is naturally going to come over here, and I should have a shot. Taking the extension off just to make my cue a little bit lighter in my hand. We'll see what happens here. 8-ball should be going in the same pocket. I clipped the 4 a little bit. You can't see it, but the 14 went in. Oh, no, it didn't. So I lost. It didn't look like, it looked like the 14 went in, but then I moved out of the way and the magic trick has been revealed. So I am now at 5-2. Now a little bit too much top and a little bit of left spin on that. Sorry, I had to. But that was a great break. I made 15 balls, or how many did I make? 3? 2 2 stripes and a solid, looks like I made. Water, by the way, I don't have any ice anymore because it's melted. But you know what melted ice means? There's more water. I'm looking at this. If I play a stop shot on the 14, or just basically replace the cue ball, or replace the 14 with the cue ball, which I didn't really do. I have the 11. Now, I ideally would have wanted this to be here so that I could not have to bridge over the 8, but I also was worried that I would go too far and get behind the 6. So didn't want to hit the 8 or the 6 on the way out. I had the 13 as insurance, but I might as well take the 15 since I'm down here. For key balls, it really doesn't... I have 2 balls on this side of the table, and if I get over here, I can just play out for the shot on the 8. I don't really like the 15 for a key ball on 8 because I have to get an angle kind of like this to play 1 rail and out, or try to stun around the 7 and out this way, sorry. So ideally I want to be right on, oh boy. I want to be on the 13, but I wanted to be just center table here. I had no reason to hold it that close to the rail. Based on the fact that I'm getting down this ball so fast, I do have the shot, but I was really close to being snookered behind my own ball to get on my own ball. Now here I got a perfect angle on the 10, just stun that with a little bit of just below center, half a tip below center, and some left spin. Maybe a tip of left spin on that. And this I can just kind of float forward. I don't need to try to get any closer to the 8 because the 8 is in a really good spot. And as I say in all my other videos, if you want to really get good at these shots, put the object ball, 8, 9, or 10 ball, where it's racked in the rack. Put your cue ball all over the table and practice these shots. And practice playing them out 2 corners like this, where you're never going to have a chance to scratch. I am on the hill, up 6-2. This match is going much better, and it is because I am focused, because I was able to persist so much in the first match. It gave me confidence in this match to be able to stay focused, stay in the zone. Even when I'm losing, I'm still staying in the zone. That break I also call as a successful break, even though the cue ball went back. It went back in a perfectly straight line, which actually a lot of people do that on purpose. The side balls that are behind the head ball, I found there's 2 ways to make them. Either draw, which is hard to control the cue ball, but it will come straight back, or that pop break where you hit it. So it seems like there's almost like a reversed bell curve. They really go in the, they go in the way up here, they start to not go, and this is your softer break, and this is your harder break. They kind of do this. So the harder you hit it, the more chance they go in, the softer you hit it, but that medium speed, at least on my table, I'm finding. Here, these 2 solids are a mess. I want to break out the 9 ball and stay with stripes, or break out the 1, which is good, but this is pretty crazy here. I remember this shot, and I remember thinking I barely have, the 1 ball is not, or the cue ball is not frozen. I'm looking at angles that I have. I think I can actually make the 15 if I just play a stop shot, maybe a touch of left, because that will, yeah, I'm playing a little bit of lower left because that will shoot the cue ball out a little bit to the right. And you see that I shot it into the rail, but I played with pocket speed, so I was able to hold the angle. I did not hit the 13 on the way in. I mean, it wouldn't have been a foul, but I would have missed the shot. And now these balls are wide open here. Should be no reason that I can't run out here, and I'm saying that knowing something that you guys don't know, or you might. So here I have 2 ways to play this. I can play forward for the 10, but I need to get enough of an angle to be able to come out 1 rail for the 12, or I can draw back for the 12 and then try to get back on the 10. I like this much better. Unfortunately, well, no, it looked like I was going to draw it way too far and be stuck behind the 1. This is a pretty good angle. This is top with some right. Want to kind of aim here and out. Looks like I'm not putting any top on it. I still got the angle that I wanted. And now, if I have the angle, I just want to float down here for the 8 in this side. If I don't have the angle, I have to do something else. probably draw it back to here. So looks like I don't have the angle, so I'm drawing. I didn't really get the greatest angle, but this is doable. This is a shot I should be making most of the time. And when I say most, I don't mean like 51% is most. I mean a majority, which is still the same thing. But I should be making this shot almost every time I play it. Unfortunately, I overcut it. I hit it with stun because I wanted to not... I didn't want to hit that 5 and have the cue ball go in unknown places. I wanted to force it to the rail. But I missed. We give the ghost a point. I should have won that 7-2. Instead, it's 7-3. I'm back to shooting the break off to the side. Let's take a look at the problems here. For solids, the 1 ball is a problem, but I can play ball in hand right away, and I have 2 balls for insurance. The 2 ball is an issue, and the 2 and the 11 are an issue. I think the 2 from over here goes here. I don't think the 11 goes anywhere. I think I was looking at whether the 9 went through this way. Both the 3 and the 4 go here. The 4 first, and then the 3. If the 11 does not go here, there's no way I can take stripes. Unless, I don't like this, any part of this shot at all. I do not try this at home, kids, even though I'm home when I'm trying this, and I'm home when I'm talking about not trying this. I am trying to make this 12 and go into specifically the 2 ball and still have a shot. Instead, I missed the 2 ball completely, and what's funny is without hitting the 2 ball, I had a much better chance of getting a shot than if I hit the 2 ball, but the whole point of that shot was to hit the 2 ball. Because if I hit the 2 ball and the cue ball floats here, what shot do I have? Assuming I have to assume I only had the 11 as a shot, and that's dangerous. If I didn't hit the 2 ball too full, the 2 ball could just sit, here. As it is now, I have to try to get this ball out of here. Now I move the 7 to give myself a better angle on the 9, because now the 9 goes here very cleanly. But now I'm stuck because I'm running out of options. I don't have a way to clear this 11 ball out. The 14 does go on the side, but it looks like I'm going to hit the 7, so I'm hoping the 7 hits this. Yep, that's exactly what I tried, but I moved the 13 in an unmakeable spot past the 8 ball. It does not go here. Sorry, my chair's rolling all over the place. Funny. If I can get down here, it goes up, but I don't have a way to get there. So I have to go for the 9 now, and then I have to go for the 11, but I don't know how I'm getting this 13 out. So I use the 6 as a stopper because I know if I'm here, I have a shot on the 11. But now what do I do? I look like I have a plan. I don't know what I'm trying here. If I'm trying to go forward 2 rails into it, I think I was trying to hold it here, but I knew the 13 was going to be a problem still. So now, here we are. Let's look at this table. I'm pausing it here while I stare at my chalk. I know the 13 doesn't go here. I don't have a shot. What do you do? In a game, let's say we're playing a real game that doesn't have a ghost involved, where you can play a safety. Is there even a safety here? I don't think so. I think everything's, the only safety I could see would be playing the 10 up onto the 1 and maybe trying to get the cue ball doubled up here. But then you're at a way huge disadvantage because your opponent can play all sorts of safeties on you. You're tying your balls up just to stay in the inning. But we're playing the ghost. We can't really do anything. So what's left to do? What one shot is on the table where I could make the 10, break out the 13, and get a shot at it? And that is cross the 10 over to the other side. play the cue ball straight forward, and hope I get a shot. And hope I don't make the 8-ball. Oh. I want to pause it one more time, because this ball does go in the side here. It might go here, but I don't, definitely not there. It might go up there, but I definitely don't want to play that. I'm going to play this in the side. The problem is the natural way to play this is with straight top or outside spin, but the outside spin is going to take this right into this mess, and I'm not going to have a shot in the 8. So I have to play this kind of extreme cut with inside English, which is left in this case. Hope it goes here and straight out above the 3 and 2. Let's see what happens here. I've seen people get stuck on this shot and resort to like cross corner banking it, which I wouldn't recommend. The cut up here, I suppose there's a chance of natural position, but there's also a chance of just coming back and making the 8. I think you still have to put inside English on that. So what I need to do is I need to hit this confident. I need to stroke through the ball. I need to take the extension off because I'm never going to make it otherwise. And I need to make sure that I hit this confidently, because if I let up and I decelerate on this, my cue ball is going to be down here somewhere. And I've stood up, what, 3 times now on it? Bridging on the rail isn't a problem. I'm bringing it a little bit further away to get more stroke. And I held it perfectly. You could see the ball go towards there and then kind of warp back up a little bit. Nice, easy 8-ball little fist pump that I've never ever done in a real game other than like messing with somebody. And there it is. Big thumbs up. I win 7-3. So in 2 matches, I won 7-5, 7-3. Those are pretty good wins. I should have won 7-2 in this one, but I like the way, leaving this rack, this was the last rack that I played. I put the table away and packed my cues up and stuff, and worked the next day and then drove up to state. This was the last rack I played before state. I think it gave me a lot of confidence. I was able to stay in the zone. I was able to recognize when I was in the zone and when I wasn't. And I was able to stay focused even after that horrible 8-ball miss. You guys have seen some of these. In fact, I'll put a link to my struggle bus video, which when I tend to miss or lose a game, those things kind of tend to compound. And those are really bad in matches against people when you're not playing just a single game and you're playing, let's say you're up 2-1 and you miss or the guy runs out and it's 2-2, he happens to win, you're down 3-2, and now you get in your own head like, oh no, I need to win, I have to win, and then you miss a ball. You could very easily lose the match out from there, and that's not good. But anyway, I was able to stay focused, able to get this win. I'm done with 8-ball for a while now. I may go back and narrate an older match, but I played an 8-ball tournament over the weekend, actually 2 of them. One was a partners one that we didn't really fare well in. We will not be answering questions about that tournament. And then one that I took 3rd in which I beat a 630 who has like 14,000 games in the system and beat me twice in a 9-ball tournament a couple months ago. Felt really good about that win. Had 2 or 3 dominating wins in a row, and then lost to one of the better players in the Milwaukee area. Shout out to Big T if you're out there. I want a rematch. We were very, very close. In fact, it was tied 2-2 in both. It was alternate breaks. I broke first, broke and ran. I broke third, broke and ran. Now the games 2 and 4 were safety battles where he won, and I think he definitely has the upper hand in the safety battle. I think I have the upper hand in just the straight run out game, although we did have some really good safety and run out battles after that. But anyway, do the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, comment, share. What else can you do in YouTube? Resize the window. Oh, sorry about that. Make it theater mode, make it, I don't know, do YouTube stuff and do cool stuff, and we will see you on the next video whenever that happens to be. Have an amazing day. We'll see you later.